Hi, I'm Echo Pearl, and today we're going to build a basement with an aquarium. Welcome to Gaming for Grandparents, the channel that tries to help grandparents stay mentally active. So I've been working on the front room of the house and just adding different touches to it, but I decided that to get to the basement, I would go into this little hole here, go down this ladder, and this is where I would start my basement. I have a lot of work cut out for me because I've got to remove all this dirt and create a level floor. And of course, I've got to find the blocks I want to use. So let's go ahead and do a fast cut to where it's all cleared out. So I had to level the floor and clear out all this extra dirt. And now I have it to where it's pretty much ready for the ceiling and the floor and the walls. I just threw these lights in here. I'll fix them later. And this is the last of the clearing it out. Now it's time to start adding walls, ceiling, etc. I decided to go with teal and black for the basement colors. And this is a prismarine block that can only be found in the ocean monuments. So now I need to find out which of the black stones do I want to use for the ceiling. So I'm just putting some black stone on the ceiling and then on the floor to see which black stones I like. Some of the blocks for me have too much movement in them and it makes me dizzy. That's why you won't see me build anything with cobblestone. I think every Minecrafter has a favorite block and a least favorite block. My favorite is quartz and my least favorite is cobblestone. So I decided I kind of like this brick pattern for the floor. So I think this is what my floor is going to look like. And now I'm back to looking at the ceiling and seeing what block I want for the ceiling. Alright, so now I'm going to put a light in the ceiling here where I want it. And I'll have a better idea of what everything looks like with the ceiling, the wall, and the floor. So I'm not happy with how much darker the ceiling is than the floor. So I'm going to see about changing to a different slab and putting that up instead. So I like the lighter gray to match better with the floor. So I'm going to go with that stone instead. So now I'm fixing the entrance to the basement. I finished the ceiling and the walls in the rest of the basement, adding the doors that go towards the entrance. Of course, adding some lights. So now it's time to add the aquarium in the floor, and I want it to extend the entire length of the basement from the door entrance all the way outside. And as I'm building out my walls for the aquarium, I realize that I need to also lower the floor, so I'm going to break a lot of block in order to put my floor in. And we will jump cut to when this is done. So now I'm adding my lights on the side of the aquarium so that we'll be able to see the fish and everything pretty. I was trying to put the coral in before the water and immediately the coral would just turn gray and die. And the key on adding water is you have to make sure that you're putting it in the exact spot you want it for it to flow correctly. And to keep it from blowing, you have to keep filling it with water until all of that motion is gone. and water tends to flow about 8 blocks by itself. So now I'm removing all the decorations I had in there. I see that it's gone, it's 8 blocks, but now I want to stop flowing because I don't want any of the fish to get trapped in any of these flowing parts and then they get slammed up against some of the coral. So I'm just going in and just adding the water a little bit at a time to try and get the flow to eventually stop so that it's nice and smooth. But you just have to keep putting your mouse on specific spots so you see that it's no longer rapids in all these different spots. So I'm just now going in and changing to stop it from being rapids. And the only way to do that is to just keep putting water in. And then I'm double checking to make sure everything is going exactly how I want it to go. And I think adding it as a waterfall feature is going to look nice as well. So now I have all the coral and all the decorations in. So now I'm going to add the glass block on top so that we'll be able to see inside the fish tank. Now that I have that done, I need to figure out what I want to do about this exterior wall. Now I have the wall in place and everything is looking pretty good, but I think I want a window right there. I just like the fact that we can actually look out and see the little waterfall. And I haven't put fish in there yet. And now that I've created the window with clear glass, I think I like the clear glass for the aquarium as well. Removing that smoky haze makes it easier to see everything inside. And a couple more modifications to the window. And now I have the window complete and it's framed out similar to how the door is framed out. I have not added any fish yet. I'll do that later. So now it's time to create the laundry room, another bathroom, a storage closet, and then storage throughout the basement. And I think I'm going to start with my laundry room right here, and I'm going to switch to my favorite block, which is the quartz block. So we have a top loading washer, a side front dryer, a sink, a faucet, a couple of storage cabinets, and a chain there for hanging laundry, and a couple of the armor stands to go ahead and drape additional clothes on. I decided I didn't like those barrels up there, and I didn't like the barrels on the side, so I replaced them with a quartz slab just to have more countertop space to fold things, I guess. And that pretty much ends that. I just need to add the door, so I've got to frame that out a little bit more. And now we're done. That is the laundry room complete. So far so good. Moving on to the next room. So I'm just going to add a small storage closet in between the laundry room and the bathroom. And like any closet, you have that clothes railing that's on there. So that's how I'll use the chain. And this is such a small room, I'm not going to really cut too much. Okay, and we need some drawers. And now I'm just looking at what else I need in this storage room. I think I'm going to add one more space of storage. We'll just call it a supply room, but I feel like I can add something just on the other side of that wall. Yep, I think I'm just going to put some drawers here. We'll treat this as the filing room. And I think we're done. That space will just stay open to open up the drawers. Now, for the door, and then I can work on the bathroom. So go ahead and add some exterior walls, but I don't think I've added my door yet. I think initially I thought, well, it'd be good up against the wall there, but now that I'm looking at it, I really don't like it there. So I go ahead and get on the inside to see what's going to work for me. And I decide that putting the door down in this corner makes the most sense. And voila, a door. Now for the interior. And there you have it. A warped wood toilet. And a button for the flush. And a trapdoor for the seat lid. One toilet down, moving on. So I think we'll put a bathtub in this room. And this is the smooth quartz. Now I'm just going to experiment with different tile decorations, if you will. So we will fast forward through this experimentation. So these are iron trap doors that I was experimenting with to see if that's going to be a good tile situation. And yeah, this doesn't work for me either. And no, these item frames are not going to work for me. So this is unpolished prismarine block, I believe. And again, it's a busy block, so I don't know if I'm going to like this block or not, but it's better than anything else that I've put up so far. Nope, too busy, so I'm going to go back to my favorite block, the quartz block, and I believe this is the etched quartz block. Either way, that looks more like a tile. And then when I put these trapdoors on top, I think we're going to have a really cool design. That works so much better. Now I've got to put my faucet in there. And the shower head. And now we step back from our creation and see if we like it. And out of everything I've done, that turned out the best. I need to get rid of those item frames though. Now it's time for the vanity. And I'm just going to experiment with different blocks to see what works for me. So that polished andesite kind of gives a marble effect. And of course we have to have a little bit of storage, a linen closet. But we also need to have a trash can, because trash cans are important in bathrooms. And for the trash can, we're using a composter. And of course, we need to get a shower chain. However, I may end up using glass here later. And there we go. Now I'm just going to kind of step back and look at the space. And I think I'm going to add a painting. Let's see if this one will work. And maybe it'll work like a mirror too. Oh, I do like that design. It works with the ceilings, that's for sure. And take about 5 minutes figuring out the layout. And fast forward through this trial and error, but I do think that works for me. My room is not a really great size to be able to do that perfectly, but it's good enough. Now the wall behind the toilet is a little blank, so I think I'll add a portrait to that wall. I think that one will work. And now, do I want to add anything over on that wall? And I think that will work. Good enough. Let's move on to the next space. So the rest of the space is going to be storage and nothing but storage. I'm going to start with a bunch of shulker boxes. These boxes allow you to store stuff, and then you can put them inside a chest, allowing a chest to store even more stuff. But you can also use these in your inventory and store even more in your inventory. And I'm just going to use all the colors and showcase all the colors that the shulker boxes come in. And this is the last one, and that pretty much captures all the different colors of the shulker boxes. Now it's time to put some chests up and possibly barrels. Alright, we're going to place the end chest, and it's a magical chest. You can put items in the chest here, place another end chest down somewhere else, and it will still have those exact same items. It doesn't matter how many times you place an end chest down, it's going to have the exact same items that you've already put in it. So I think I'm just going to line this wall with a bunch of barrels. And just to add some design, I'm going to switch to drawers. These are actually chiseled bookshelves, but they look like drawers, so that's why I'm calling them drawers. This is a brand new block introduced by Minecraft earlier this year, actually. I think it's one of my favorite of the new blocks just because it does look like drawers and it enables you to add that detail when you're building things. Now, in spite of real life, we cannot open these chests. We can actually open these chests when they're stacked on top of each other, like this. But I'm pretty much just going to fill up this entire wall with chests and just add some more decorative aesthetic looks. I'm just adding some bookcases to make it look cool. See, I just opened that chest up. And now I'm just looking around the space to see what else I want to add to it, to add to that aesthetic, decorative vibe. I inadvertently blocked off some of my window frame, but believe it or not, that's kind of what happened with the door too. So, we'll roll with it. But now I decided I didn't like so many rows of barrels, so I'm adding some more drawers. So now we have a really good storage space for our house. And it doesn't matter where you go in anybody's Minecraft world, they have what's called a storage room, and it will just have a bunch of stuff in it like this. Everybody decorates their storage room differently. I've had cooler ones, but for this house, I'm keeping things fairly simple. So let's go out and add our ladders back so we can get out of the basement. And one more ladder, there we go. So now we can get out of the basement, and then when we walk in, we're walking in and we immediately see me opening up inventory. Yeah, that was great timing. So now I'm just doing a once over, seeing what I think about all of this. I still have not added the fish, and I'm just doing a once over, just seeing what I like, what I don't like. Going into my laundry room, checking it out, deciding I think that's okay, and leaving the laundry room, going into the storage room, see if I like everything in that room. Yeah, I think that's going to be okay. Yeah, it's okay that that is an empty space. other than maybe it needs a light. And now we can check out our bathroom and see if we like everything in the bathroom and do that one last little check. And yep, need a light in here too. We fixed the block and we've added the painting that acts as a mirror. Granted, it's a dirty mirror that needs to be washed. And I think that's it. I think we're done with the bathroom. I think it looks good enough. I really like how that tub turned out, that's for sure. So this completes this build on the basement and the storage space. I think that's going to work for me, and I'm done. So let's go back upstairs and see what I want to do with that front room area, see what I want to add, or if it's good enough. I think I'm going to add some vines here so that it doesn't look like there's anything there, but we can walk through it. And I've got another roommate, and he leaves grass blocks around the house. Dude, pay rent, and not in grass blocks. And we've got a pretty view outside, and I think this is good enough for now. I may add some things, change some things, but that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe